I'll stop being silly. Ready? Good evening to all my wonderful friends out there and people who I haven't met yet who are going to watch this. And when you see what we're going to talk about tonight, my greatest hope for you is not to just have experiences similar to what we've experienced, but that you will find a new level of health that you haven't discovered for a long time. And I think that we all hope that, right? So many of us are just kind of hanging on and post-COVIDing and all sorts of things that, that kind of changed our world, I think, a little bit. And we started thinking about what does it mean to be healthy? And are we ready to stay healthy in our lives? And then along came doTERRA with some amazing products. But before we talk products, I just want you to know that I don't know what my life would be right this minute if I didn't have doTERRA products, things that these incredible gifts of the earth have been for me. But especially right now, the kind of like the layering of a few products, I keep calling them products, but they're like miracle workers for me. And the latest things that we have are things with collagen in them and essential oils and essential fatty acids and vitamins and minerals and so many great additional things that our bodies actually need or have long since lost being able to create. So I invite you tonight to learn with us. I'm Cynthia, and you're going to meet Mark in just a minute and discover something that rings true to us. And we hope that you'll find the same, not the same things that we experience, but the same hope that we found for good health. And kind of like, it's like grasping the future and knowing you can pull it in and be a part of it because we can live life on a better level now. So I'd like to introduce someone else, but before I do, I want you to see all of the things that I have here because he's going to be talking about them. So let me just show you this. These are part of what he's going to be talking about. These are called sachets. I found out a sachet is some kind of special way you walk, but we're going to call them sachets, and we're going to call them packets, and we're going to call them fantastic. And that's something that we're going to talk about. And I like to keep mine like this. And so they can stay out all the time and I don't forget about them. And I'm going to invite anyone here who would like to have a bottle of water and a sachet. And then we're going to talk to them in just a minute or two. Would you like one?
I would.
Okay. We're going to find out what they've had and what they've experienced. So here's a sachet for you, one for you, and one for you. I'm going to forego it right this minute, but I will have one too. And did you get some water? You got, okay, so everyone has water. And then if you'd like, you're also welcome to beadle it if you'd like to kind of refresh your mouth or something like that too. So I'm going to pass these around. These are little MetaPWR beadlets. They have all sorts of wonderful essential oils in them that can help with your energy and a number of other things that Mark's going to talk about. So Mark is my husband, and Mark did some wonderful, wonderful things. He got better. And who doesn't want that, right? And we first experienced that with this product. It's called Lifelong Vitality. And this was a game changer for us. 8 years ago, we've been using this for 8 years. It says, look, feel, live younger, longer. And so this was kind of like where we started. And then when COVID hit, I had some pretty terrible, terrible experiences personally. And my life changed a lot. And my kids told me that they wondered if I was going to be around anymore while I was in the middle of COVID. Because when they saw me and saw how ill I was, and saw what was happening to people that were that ill, they're like, well, is this it? Is she going to disappear? Here, have this. Or is she going to be in our lives? And I worked really hard to get out of that, but I'd lost about at least a third of my hair, maybe more. my fingernails were just bent into nothingness. They could, and my toenails came off. I couldn't breathe, and the breathing thing didn't really change a lot. This time last year, I was lucky to walk a half a mile. I'd get on my treadmill and try to open my lungs, and that was all I could do. I was dizzy, I was exhausted, and I did my best to stay on top of feeling gratitude and wondering how and when I would return to a next level of health, because I know it's possible. I believe that we can do more for ourselves than we think we can. And I was trying really hard. And then came along MetaPWR. And MetaPWR was a surprise. And I wasn't expecting it. But I took one of those things, and I'm going to tell you in just a little while what happened. But first, we're going to turn the time over to Mark. He's going to explain what these products, these new awesome supplements can do for your body, and how they can improve your body in really big ways, in faster than you ever expected. So this is Mark. He's awesome, and he's going to tell you all about it.
Good. So as I go through life, there's a lot going on, and a lot of things that I'm involved in, and things that I love, and things that I don't like so much. But right up at the top, toward the top of my list of things that I love most are holding hands with my wife and playing my guitar. Those were two things that for years I loved it. I mean, who wouldn't want to hold the hand of this amazing lady? And playing the guitar was always an outlet for me, and I love music. And so those are two things that I love so much. As I got older, my family deals with hereditary arthritis, and it started setting in on my hands. And about 15 years ago, I started noticing a lot of pain in my hands, and it just got worse and worse. And over time, I got to where I could barely clench my hands, and I was always in a lot of pain. Then I love mountain biking too. Mountain biking is up there pretty high too. So I was mountain biking one day, had a wreck and smashed my hand. And so I especially with my left hand, I got to a point where I could only clench about like that with a 7 pain level. And it was very painful. I went to my son and daughter-in-law are chiropractors, and they treated me and got a little more mobility and pain level down a little bit, but it still wasn't a problem. So I figured, well, that's just my life, you know. And I kind of put the guitar in the garage, in the closet, and forgot about it, and held my wife's hand kind of like this, very gingerly. And when she squeezed too much, I was like, ah. So along came MetaPWR. MetaPWR came out, and I thought, well, I have no expectations. I have no idea what's going to happen for me. And I started taking the sachets, the Advantage. I started with 1 a day, and then I went up to 2 a day, just going along doing it, seeing what's going to happen. And about 10 days in, we're sitting in church. I'm sitting next to Cynthia. I reach over and I took her hand, and suddenly I thought she was going to jump out of the pew. And if it wouldn't have been in church, she would have been screaming, you know. I looked down, and there were our hands like this. For the first time in 15 years, and no pain. I was experiencing no pain. Holding my wife's hand like that for the first time in 15 years. It was beyond thrilling. I can't tell you how much that meant to me. We came home from church hand in hand, and we came in the door, and Cynthia said, "Hey, let's try your guitar." And I said, "Yeah, right, sure." We almost sold it, actually, because it wasn't getting any use. She said, "No, really, try your guitar." So I pulled out my guitar, and I played one of my favorite songs, "Time in a Bottle." I started playing it, and I couldn't get through it because I was so choked up, because here I was, first time in about 10 years, playing the guitar with no pain in my hands. So MetaPWR changed my life. It gave me my love life, my romance back, and gave me another love of my life, playing the guitar, being able to do that. I love this product. It's really amazing. So I'm going to talk to you just a little bit about more, give you an overview of the product family. And MetaPWR is a family of products. We're going to talk about 3 of those products today. And I'm going to start this slideshow. And Cynthia, if you could come over and advance the slides for me, that would be helpful. So a moment while we get this going. Yeah, so we see that. There. Okay. Let's see, I think at the first here, Cynthia, if you can just kind of click through, I'll show you real quickly. Go ahead.
Just push the button, major button.
Push the right arrow.
Okay,
There you
this
go.
one?
Yep, that's the one. So I just told you my story. We'll click through this quickly, but I just wanted you to see that my hands, what they looked like prior to MetaPWR. So that's what my hand looked like right after the accident. And then I went down and got treated, and we got it to that point, but it was still about that's all the mobility I had. And still 3 pain level when I left the clinic, and over the next couple of years, it reverted to about a 7 when Cynthia squeezed my hand. And then this is 10 days in. And that's what it looked like after I was on MetaPWR. So pretty amazing. Okay, next one. And here I am with the guitar. You can keep going. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about metabolic health. Metabolic health is at the foundation of our ability to be healthy throughout our lives. The ability to be able to digest our food, to have the right nutrients, and have the right metabolism is fundamental to being able to have a long and healthy life. And statistics show that less than 7% of us in the United States have really a good metabolic health. And so there's a lot that we can do to improve on that. Go ahead to the next one. And this is kind of what we're looking at. So your actual age, your number of years old you are, if you don't have any interventions, it's going to match your metabolic age. And it just starts to deteriorate over time because our bodies don't have what we need to keep our metabolic health ahead of our actual years of health, right? And you can see on the blue line, it goes down pretty rapidly toward the end of life. And then we do these heroic measures that at the very end there to try to keep people alive for an extra couple of years, right? And quality of life is terrible. It's just not what any of us would look forward to. But if we can take care of our metabolic health over the years, we can extend our metabolic life way beyond what our actual chronological age is, and enjoy a high quality of life. It's not going to add 10 or 20 years to our lives, but we'll have a high quality of life during the years that we have to spend here. So that's wonderful. All right. We're going to talk about 3 of the 4 major obstacles to metabolic health tonight. And here they are. Maturing fat cells is one of the blocks to good metabolic health. Blood sugar spikes is another one that really robs us of a lot of that health. And cellular integrity is the 3rd area that really is a major roadblock. Inferior supplements we're going to do another class on that. That's the lifelong vitality that Cynthia talked about right there, that we've been doing for many years very successfully. But tonight we're going to focus on the other 3. So the first one, go ahead, Cynthia. The maturing fat cells, next one. So our bodies, I am not a doctor, but from a layman's explanation of how this works, our bodies are always making fat cells, which is okay, right? The problem is that when those fat cells mature, and the medical term for it is adipose fat. So as those fat cells mature, they grow, they increase in size, and they create all kinds of other health issues as they mature. So if you can keep those cells from maturing, that is a great boon to your metabolic health. Okay, go ahead. So this is what the first product that is in the MetaPWR family. It's called the Metabolic Blend, and it has a formulation of essential oils that actually inhibit the maturation of adipose fat cells. So as you take these products, they do two really important things. Number one is they inhibit the maturation of those cells, and the second thing is most people experience a decrease in their appetite, in their cravings for carbs and for extra food. So those are two great benefits of this first product.
And I'm just going to give you that, and if they'd like to have a piece of the gum, they can be chewing it while they're sitting here.
Okay.
Gum also increases your brain's activity level, so you can have a higher rate of retention and thought process. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
3 of them.
I want to get smarter. So Cynthia's going to talk about this a little bit more about how you actually take these and what the regimen is. There are 4 different delivery methods, particularly because we're dealing with cravings. Some people like to just take a pill. Some people love to chew gum. I'm not a gum person. Cynthia loves gum. It really does it for her. Some people like to take the little beadlets, just carry them around with them and pop them, and that helps reduce the cravings. So there are different ways that you can use the product, but it's the same formulation and it does the same thing. Okay, next one. The second area is blood sugar spikes. And that's another obstacle. Go ahead. And the doctor that developed this likes to explain it as if you're driving in a car and you go fast and then slam on the brakes and then fast and slam on the brakes, fast, slow, you're going to wear that car out pretty fast. And that's kind of similar to what we do to our bodies when we're constantly spiking our blood sugar. And with our Western diets, we do that a lot with high carbs and a lot of sugars and that kind of thing. We're constantly spiking our blood sugar. And every time you spike your blood sugar, you're taking years off your life. And so if we can bring that down to a more even level and a more manageable level, we can add a lot of metabolic life to our lifespan. So next one. So the second product is MetaPWR Assist, and it comes in a tablet or these are what? These are what? Capsules. These are capsules that you take once a day with you, usually with your biggest meal. About 30 minutes before your largest meal, you take one of these. And what they do, this is an amazing formulation, is based on mulberry leaf, interestingly. And what they found is that with this in your system, while you're digesting, it will reduce the uptake of of simple carbs by about 45%. So it actually transforms simple carbs like sugars and carbohydrates that we put in, and it lengthens the chain into a complex carb. So your body doesn't absorb it as easily. So that's a really great benefit. And a lot of people are finding that this helps with, again, with being able to manage your carb uptake and manage your sugar spikes. And there's a lot of really good research that they've done on this, and they can show that reduction in blood glucose, instead of spiking like this, the spikes are much lower. So it really helps with that. Okay, the last one is the cellular integrity, the last obstacle. And the main thing that I'm going to talk about tonight is the collagen that is in the Advantage product, and that's what did the trick for my hands. And so it's really amazing. And the thing, oh, go ahead, yeah, right there. Two things that really make it stand out are the number of collagens that are in the product. Cynthia and I did collagens for many years, and we bought supposedly the very best on the market, very expensive and nasty tasting. But we did it because we wanted the benefit, and we just wasn't moving the needle. And so come to find out, our bodies have 29 different types of collagen that we need for a healthy metabolic life. And most products only have 1 or 2. doTERRA has put 9 different collagens in the product, which are the key ones that help us to really see that difference in what our bodies need. And so that is a huge benefit. The other benefit is, you'll see here it says 12 times more bioavailable. The other problem with collagens is it's the opposite of what I was talking about with the adipose fat, or I'm sorry, with the glucose uptake. To be able to absorb the collagen, you need short chains so that your body can absorb it. And most collagens are long chains, and so you can take it, but you're not absorbing it. And so doTERRA has been able to engineer this product so it's short chains, and therefore you're getting 12 times the benefit as you would from other collagens that are out there. So really cool, and I like the taste. Actually, it's really quite good. It's very simple. Put it in a bottle, shake it up. It comes in a powder. It's easy to take around with you, and I'm doing 1 to 2 a day, depending on what I need that day. So we're not going to go into the detail on this. The product also has other biological things that you need. They call them synergistic ingredients that give you a fully rounded capability for your metabolic health. Some really great stuff in here. We don't have time to talk about it tonight, but you want to check it out. Okay, you'll have to click a few times probably to get through this one. So this is the Advantage. Cynthia already showed it to you, and we'll move on from there. So that's really the overview. These 3 different areas that address specific blocks to our metabolic health and really help us live our longest, most productive metabolic life, regardless of our chronological age. And with that, I'll turn it back to Cynthia.
Thank you. So, yeah, thank you very much. So, I was the arm that kept showing up in the so if you were wondering. So you watch what we did with this. This is the metabolic beadlets. And the metabolic beadlets, you think about if you're intermittent fasting and you're just having a little bit of slump of energy, or it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon, which is the normal time when everybody has a slump. I mean, don't we all feel it? Oh, I can hardly make it through. Or maybe you forgot to eat. But we all do it. And when we miss that meal, what do you do to get some energy back? Because you've got to keep going. Well, you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. This is awesome. And there's a sneaky new thing. We call it water. You can do this. And together, these can create a higher energy retention level for you. That was the very first thing I noticed. The very first packet I ever took was at 2 p.m. in the afternoon of a huge meeting. And they handed us one of these, and I'm like, I'm going to do it right now because I'm already ready to fall asleep, even though it's really cool information. So I did. Half an hour later, I'm like, this isn't so dead. I can stay awake. I'm fine. Everything's good. I'm like, wow, what just changed? Simple. It was this. Okay. That was my very first notice. This is a game changer for not feeling cravings and having also higher energy. So this one really stops that. I've got to eat that thing that I just saw in the pantry or the pastry case or the ice cream store that I just went by or whatever else it is. It's the thing that lets us talk to ourselves first. And then we can make that decision instead of just saying, why did I just eat that 1,000-calorie item that I'm going to be paying for the next 3 days, just the way I feel, and then who knows how much longer. But that one will stop it, and you can buy it and eat a couple bites and not feel bad about throwing the rest away too, even if you have to have some. And then this one is awesome because you take a few and suddenly your breath is a lot better besides everything else. And who doesn't need that, right? So that's going to keep you more alert. So I love that. So if you're looking at them as far as, well, how come there's so many of the same kinds of things? Well, because you and I like to use our products differently. So we have these. You saw that I was passing around gum. It's over here. And we have some gum chewers right now. They're getting a lot of extra information because their brains are working better. And they also, so this is going to give you immediate, less food cravings. It's going to help reduce the size of your adipose fat cells. And you're going to have more energy, period. So we're talking about great energy intake, plus the other 2 ways to take that. Then you've got this one, which is going to be your collagen one. And you saw these people, and if you saw the slide, I don't know if Mark still has the slide up, but you saw, we'll just pretend like that's everybody drinking them tonight. Glug, glug, glug. They glugged it down, right? Because there's something that they're going to tell us about what they experience when they drink it. And then the other one is you've got to take enough water. If you're in the middle of this and you are not using enough water, your body might reduce the fat cell sizes, but guess what? You've got toxins just running around, well, kind of walking around in your bloodstream and sitting in your cells. Because why? Because it can't move out, because you haven't given it enough liquid to get it out of your system. So it just sits there. If you feel like your system's sluggish, you have sludge. And if you want to up that, add this when you're doing these. Just add this. And is this for real? Yes, this is for real. This is Mark's. Oh my gosh. And this is what he's done today. So you know that he usually is down to there and sometimes all the way down. But when he first started, he was lucky to hit that much out of this bottle. And he decided his brain needed some more firing and that he was not working on all cylinders. And so he started to do this. And you can put the oils in another way, and that's in an oil form. And unfortunately, I don't know why I don't have the bottle of oil here, but you can put that into your bottle and you can carry that around with you. And it's a nice flavor. And a lot of people enjoy having a flavor in their water if you're going to have to be drinking a lot more water than you're accustomed to. And I think that's the key. If you're accustomed to more, you might want to think about it. Now, I want to just give you a real quick. So for me, my change was my lungs. I'm a singer, and I couldn't sing anymore. I really couldn't. And I knew it. And I had enough lung capacity for one song, and that was it. And so last October, after a month of this, okay, with a month for me, I was up at 11,000 feet on top of a mountain, and I was sitting there knowing that I wasn't going to go anywhere because, hey, 11,000 feet and no lung capacity is not really optimum. And I thought, well, I'll be okay. I'll just sit up here and enjoy the view. It was the most gorgeous fall I think we've had ever. I don't recall a fall as beautiful as this last one was. And so I was enjoying it. And I realized I could breathe. I mean, I could feel the lungs were breathing. And I'm like, And I wonder if I could go for a little walk. Well, I ended up taking a hike with my daughter. We hiked up to 12,000 feet on another peak and then back again. And I was worried about my knee because I've had problems with my knee for 40 years. Yeah. No, I'm not 40. I'm sorry to tell you that. I'm not 40. But anyway, my knee, and I felt it a little bit in my knee, but I didn't feel it in my lungs. And I have a picture of me up on top, yay! And ever since then, my lungs have just increased and increased. And I walk and I'm back to singing. I'm back to singing. Just, in fact, I think my voice sounds better than it did right before everything left me. I can feel I have a lot more capacity. Anybody who is a vocalist should be doing this, because you're going to get back the strength of your vocal cords that was maybe a little bit lacking because of your general aging capacity. It improved it. I can tell I have that control back again. I'm like, whoa, that was awesome. So even though Mark said you won't be 10 years younger, I don't believe it, because I'm watching him age backwards. I'm seeing him he had white hair after COVID, and it's not white anymore. It's got black in it again. I'm like, what happened there? My hair all grew back in again. I'm not lacking anymore. I mean, what it can do for your skin, for your nails, for your hair, for your for your concentration, for your, I have somebody over here going, oh, I want my hair to just come in. So that we don't know what our body is going to say. Okay, we're going to work on this one next. And I didn't know. Mark didn't know it was going to be his hands. We just don't know what's going to happen. I didn't know that 2 days after I did the little hike, I did a 5-mile hike up another canyon, and I had no problem. I even had my walking sticks because I thought, oh, it's going to be slow on the way back. No problems. So we want you to know that that's up in store for you. And I've asked Stacy if she'd come up. Stacy is a nurse, and Stacy loves herbs and all things natural. And she also understands the scientific medical side of everything. But I've asked her to come up and tell us maybe an experience or two that she's had with MetaPWR. And then we're going to say goodbye to you and invite you to find the people that brought you here tonight and come and experience these great things that we've had happen for us. Come on up, Stacey.
Okay.
I'm going to move over here. Oh, yes.
Well, one thing I found is as I work as a nurse, I work pretty long days, anywhere from 12 and a half, sometimes even 13-hour days. Some days you get a lunch, some days you don't. So sometimes you just kind of snack to get your way through the day. But always there is that mid-afternoon slump where you're just feeling sluggish and like, okay, how many hours do I have left? And I'm getting tired, and when is the shift going to be over? And what I have found since taking MetaPWR is that, yeah, I'm still looking like I wish the shift were over. There's always that, but it's always, I feel like I still have the stamina and the energy to get through my day. I feel like, okay, I don't need to go in a break room and take a 20-minute nap to be able to get through the end of my shift. I've got the energy that I need to make it through, and I love that. And you can always just sip on that through the day as well, when you're working too. So I love that. And I'll just tell another thing too is I have a knee injury from running that was actually from a torn calf that ended up in the knee injury and everything else, and had some stem cell injections and everything like that. And I hadn't had the full range of motion and still had some discomfort in that knee. And what I found with taking MetaPWR consistently is that I do have a greater range of motion in that knee. Doesn't hurt me as much, and I can do a deep squat and even almost sit completely back on my legs and be able to endure that without having my knee still half bent, not being able to get down all the way. So I'm super thrilled about that, because I feel like the health and the strength of that knee is coming back, and I'm super excited about that. So those are a couple of my experiences.
Thank you so much. So it's not just the 3 people that you heard from. There's other people that are here tonight, and they have their own experiences, and you will have yours, and it will work in your body. Maybe not where you thought you wanted it most, but it will be where you need it most first. So don't give up. Keep going with it. Utilize the lifelong vitality as well. We're all lifelong vitality takers too here, because the two together are just like a powerhouse. And you can have this experience in your life. Come join us. come talk to us, message us, find the people that worked with you, call them, talk to them, and help your life be better than it's been. Take care. We'll talk to you soon. And yay, MetaPWR.
Yay.